Hey everyone, I'm just going to set up the challenge that we're doing this month. This month we have in my little scrapbook store for February the love challenge, where you need to take the word love and have a product for each letter. So LOVE. So I just want to go through what I'm doing, and then I'll put you on fast forward and you can watch the layout come together. So for the letter L, I am using letters. So I have these letters. They're from Paige Evans' last collection, and I'm blanking on what it's called, but they were the word stickers. So I'm going to be using these letter stickers. For the word O, I have a couple of different options, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to end up with, but I have an octagon, and I have a overlay, and I have an oval. So I'm going to use one of those three, or maybe more of those three, but that will be my letter O. For my letter V, I have Vicky Bouton paper. So I have this really cool rainbow paper, and I've been saving this to use, and I really thought I want to use it with my Ireland kit, my Ireland layouts, so that's what I'm going to do. And then for E, I have this L Studios everyday tab stamps. And it has a couple of really cool sayings on it. Big smile, happiness, love this, together. And I just like it. It also comes with the die cuts. So you can cut out the tabs and then stamp in them. So that is my plan for love. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Just remember, you can go onto My Little Scrapbook Store's Facebook page and on the February challenge, which will be posted February 1st. And you have all the way through the end of the month to enter the challenge, and you can be entered for a $10 gift certificate to My Little Scrapbook Store. So go ahead and enter that with your entry for LOVE. Thanks, and I'll put you on fast forward next.
Hey everyone. So this is pretty self-explanatory, but the first thing I'm going to do is cut out all of these rainbows. So this paper particularly, I saw it and I thought it would be really neat to just cut those apart. I know I've seen some other people do it and distress it and use it on a paper. And in my head, I kept thinking over the rainbow, leprechauns, pot of gold. It would just be great for an Ireland page. So that's what I really wanted to focus on. I'm actually doing this for one of my cover pages. This will probably be the very first page of my Ireland album. So back in 2014, we went to Ireland, and thousands of pictures later, I am still working on them. And this is just me kind of working through the album. So originally, I was going to do that leprechaun paper as the base. What you'll see here in a second is I decided that leprechaun paper was just too busy. It didn't look good with the rainbow. It was just too much. So I went back to my Vicky Bouton paper, and I found from one of the other collections, and I believe it's Let's Wander, I found that star paper right there, that on the back is like a rainbow polka dot distress grid. So it just goes perfect with the concept of the rainbow from Storyteller. So the one thing I love about Vicky Bouton is you can just combine her collections pretty easily. I haven't seen the newest one, but I'm sure it probably goes with some of the collections she's done in the past. It's just the color scheme and the distress look, they all kind of work together. So I am going to lay out all of these rainbows, and I left this in here so you could see it. It doesn't take that long once you cut it out and distress them, but I am overlapping them. And the important thing in that is that I don't want it to take as much space up on the page as it did in the Storyteller page. The other thing is you need to kind of remember where they were, because this is not a Roy G. Biv rainbow. It's kind of like her version of that. So you can't tell just by the color as to where the particular arc goes on the rainbow. So it took me a little bit. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't sure if I had the right one, and but eventually I got them all laid out. I really like how it adds texture. I mean, you'll see me a couple times just run my hands over it. Just the distressed and the layering. It's a really cool kind of piece to have on a page, just the way that looks. And I don't do it a whole lot. I don't cut apart my paper that much, just like this, because a lot of times, you want the paper to kind of stand for itself. But this particular one, I really like how it turned out. I've done that before with her paper. I think I've fussy cut out an entire page of butterflies once, and then actually the stars on the other side of the paper I'm using as my background, I know I've cut them out and used them on a page as well. So for some reason, I think her paper just lends itself to fussy cutting and kind of making it work for you. So this really is the bulk of the page, which is just making this rainbow work on a different background paper. So at this point, we have Vicky Booten. You'll see I must be typing something for the V, and that's all we've gotten so far. We still need an L, an O, and an E. Now I could have said that my L was layers because I am layering up that paper, so that probably would have worked as well. So there are a lot of different things you could do for the letters. Layering is a good one. Love. You could use the word love. You could use different things for the L's and O's. I think I went over a lot of different things. So okay, so I'm definitely going to back this in that leprechaun paper because I do want it. I do want the idea of, this is going to be the cover page for my Ireland trip. It's going to be leprechauns and I want to see them. And then I'm going to back it on the other side of that, which is kind of a darker green. And that way you can kind of get both of those greens. And I just want to pop it. And those greens are already in the paper, so it's not like we're adding something else. And now I need to use the L Studios and I want to use the tab. So I'm going to get my Distress Oxides out and I'm going to I'm going to stamp that. And then after I stamp it, or I'm just not going to stamp it, I'm just going to wait there. Get my Distress Oxides out and stamp it. I'm going to try to find the right color green, and it's kind of difficult, and I end up using this green, which I think is Forest Moss, and I don't like it. So I go back to the drawing board. I want to say I end up using Rustic Wilderness, and I re-stamp it, and you'll see in a second that I actually just completely redid it because I just didn't like that green with the background. So I've got a little bit darker green. I think that's Rustic Wilderness, the new one. I run it through my Cuttlebug, which is kind of the workhorse of a lot of my pages lately. And now we are ready to embellish. So in order to embellish this page, we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to pull out a bunch of Vicky Booten supplies. So I'm going to pull out stuff from Let's Wander. I'm going to pull out stuff from Storyteller. And we're going to do that. But first we're going to put the things that I talked about before. So there's the trip oval, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down there, fill in that little P in the middle. I've got the travel life up there at the top, the octagon. So now I've got my O, I've got my E, and finally the letters. Now, when I saw these words and I had this rainbow, this is 100% what I wanted, which is to take different words about this trip and put it on the different parts of the rainbow. So I've got amazing, you'll see I do getaway, you'll see I do roam, and I just wanted that to kind of play throughout the rainbow, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I did end up having to move that amazing because I did want the title of my page to be Amazing Ireland Trip. So that's the title of my page and kind of the title of the entire album. This is the first day. This is as we are either in the airplane, or I think in the car on the way to the airport. And you can tell because we still look awake. We did end up staying awake something like 48 hours like that first day just because of travel and getting there, and it was still day, and it was a long first day, but by the end of that day we looked not nearly as fresh. But I'm using all these cute words and I'm putting them on different parts of the rainbow, and you could see I'm really taking advantage of the fact that these words are individual letters, and I like that a lot, and they're also different colors. So I've got some yellow, some orange, some blue, and it kind of mimics the same colors in the rainbow. So I thought that was neat, a neat way to add a different look to the page. I'm not a big fan of mixing like the fonts, that because I'm mixing a lot of fonts here. Ireland's a different font than Trip is a different font than these letters, but for some reason it really works in this, and I really liked how it turned out. So I'm adding Explore, This is a really interesting challenge. It's a fun challenge, and it's super easy to just, figure out things that start with the different letters. We're trying to mix it up a little bit. For a while, it was a sketch challenge every month, and not everybody loves sketches. So for January, which if you're watching this in the beginning of February, you have till the end of the first week of February to finish the January challenge, and it was to do a page about your goals. What goals do you have for 2021? And then February, we're doing the love challenge. I think March, we're going back to do a sketch. And then April may be a mood board. So we're kind of changing it up so that you have different things each month. So this particular chipboard piece um, did not work with the ATG. So I ended up having to use glue on it, and that was fine. Um, let's see. We're going to put that down. And I think, oh, and now is where I am going to pull out the Vicky Bouton embellishments, and I'm just going to put some different things on. We've got the globe, some florals, a couple of dots, maybe a oh, geospot or geotag. So different things just to kind of finish the page. This was a really quick page when it came together. The longest that it took is to distress all of those rainbow edges, but I think it really adds to it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you go to my little scrapbook store to enter for your chance to win the $10. And I will link below a link to her page. And hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much. Here's some close-ups of the title, and then the embellishment clusters, and then finally the full page. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.